not going to be here with us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's live webinar. We are beyond excited to have you. Literally, we're going to be getting started here in the next 60 seconds. So before we do that, let's just hit up Joey and Roy real quick. Yo, tell us what's the most exciting thing going on in your life right now? We'll start off with Joey real quick.
The most exciting right now is
it can be business. It can be
on this webinar. Being on this webinar is the most exciting thing going on right now.
Well, we appreciate that, and the feelings is mutual, Joey.
Yeah.
All right, Roy, how are you going to top this, man? How are you going to top this?
Oh, man, I can't top the webinar, man. That's big right there. But let's see. The most exciting thing that I got going on right now, I guess, is my little 2-year-old. He's learning how to potty train, and that's been a lot of fun and disastrous at the same time.
Wow,
he's been running around naked throughout the house. It's been pretty funny, and every time he goes potty, we give him a little toy. And
wow, yeah.
So he's getting excited about that.
That's exciting.
That's the most exciting thing that I got going on right now.
Is around 2 years old, is that normally the time to potty train? I'm not a father, so
he's like almost 2.5. So yeah, figured it's time now.
It's good for you. It's really good for you because my son, he didn't freaking potty train till like 6.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He didn't want to. Cool. He's lazy.
I don't blame him.
We're just bribing our little guy with toys, so it's been working so far.
Okay. Right. I should have gotten that lesson from you like years ago.
Oh, man.
I love it. All right, guys. So let's kind of go ahead and get started. I want to jump right into this. Listen, if you're tuning in, okay, we're excited to have you guys. But let's get this show started. So first and foremost, my name is Elijah Barber. I'm going to have the opportunity to host today's event. Let me do this here. Boom. There's my name, Elijah Barber. Okay. I have the opportunity to host these two guys. This is 100% financing. Okay. And how to make big money in the fix and flip markets. I know a lot of you guys have a lot of questions, what's going on in the fix and flip space. And we're going to dive into all of that here over the next hour with these two amazing rock stars that I have on here with me. But before we get into that, a brief word from our sponsor. New Jersey Real Estate Investors Association. We want to welcome you guys. We're so excited to have you. This meetup group, this Facebook group is like literally one of the largest real estate meetup groups in the entire country. So it's an honor for us to be here with you today. We do have one quick announcement and an offer that we're going to be giving to everyone who's here on this live call. And if you're watching the replay, this is going to be available to you as well. Okay. So first and foremost, we have a lot of different expos. What are expos? Expos are like our 8-hour events where we literally run from 9 a.m. to 4 to 5 p.m. It's a full day event with all sorts of different speakers. Joey and Roy were at our last expo. What did you guys think of the last expo that we did? That was all online. How was it for you guys?
It was amazing, man.
It was awesome. Woo woo! And we didn't have to show up in person. And I could do it in my shorts and underwear.
And that's exactly what Roy did. But yeah, we're adapting to the time. So we're bringing you guys literally 8 hours worth of education from different speakers who are all experts, over a specific strategy. And you get to sit down and really listen to their story and listen to their strategies and listen to what's working, because every few months, the markets are always changing. And we as investors, we have to change with it. Otherwise, we're going to be left behind. So the expos are a lot of fun. We literally have the top speakers come out to them. I don't have exact dates yet, but we have a few different expos coming up. We have a Distress No Expo. We're going to be doing our first real estate agent expo. Okay, so a lot of fun stuff. And then we also have investor expos as well. So typically these have a value of around $97 per ticket. So the Distress No Expo is $97. The real estate agent expo is $97. And our investor expo are typically around $97. So that's the price for that. We're going to be offering that. In addition to that, today's event is fix and flip. Right? How to find the deals, how to fund them, et cetera, et cetera. We only have an hour with these two gentlemen, and there's only so much we can cover, but we're going to go deep and we're going to get as much information as we can. So even if you're brand new or you're experienced, we're going to be hitting on all the major topics tonight. But once again, we only have an hour with them. And so what we have is we have an 8-hour class specifically over fix and flip. And we go into a lot of the details, conversations with attorneys, how to find attorneys, how to communicate with them and see if they're a great attorney to work with. Much more in-depth detail on the contracting aspect. Joey even speaks on our contracting stuff because he is a contractor. Okay, but we have a much more in-depth fix and flip class that's 8 hours long, only over fix and flip, where we talk about a lot of information over it. Okay, the value for that thing is $97. So already we got the expo tickets You got like 3 of those. Okay, we got the Expo, which is $97. So we're already over 200. And the last thing is this is a membership-based club. Okay, so if you're brand new here, I'm so excited to have you guys. But in order to come back to our event, you know, to stay in tune, it is required that you do join our membership. Where do you go to do that, and what do you get? This link right here, it's prime.superinvestors.com. Okay, and if you use a special code, we're going to be offering something very special for you. So what the membership is, it gives you access to all of our events. We have these online events today. If the world ever opens back up and the vaccine comes out and we can go back to in person, which I'm waiting on the moment for it to happen, but I'm not going to wait forever. Okay. So we have all these online events. You literally get access to all of them. We have them in New York, New Jersey, and Philadelphia. And in addition to that, we record all these and we put them online onto our special website that's available to our members only. Okay. So if you miss anything or you want to watch a specific topic over wholesaling or over cash flow investing, over raising money, over REOs, okay, you can go to our website that's available to our members only, and you can have access to that information right now. So the cost for the membership alone is $197. Okay, so $97 for Expo tickets. We got 3 of them. We got a workshop, which is $97, an 8-hour class, and we got the membership for $197. We are going to be offering all of the above for only $97. Okay. And it's only going to be available here for the next few days while you guys are watching the replay, or for you live guys. So how do you get access to our whole entire club, plus the Expo tickets that are coming up, plus the 8-hour class? Go to this website right here, prime.superinvestors.com. Use the coupon code September Special, and you're going to have the option to join our whole organization for $97. It lasts an entire year, and we're just going to be kicking butt the whole remainder of the year. Okay. So we're excited to have you guys. If you guys lose the link at all, it will be pinned up here. Okay. So with that being said, let's get into this event today. First and foremost, if you're tuning in, I need some energy. I need to know that you're here with us. I want you to put it in the comment section right now and let me know where you're tuning in from. Okay. What city are you watching from? You coming from New York, Brooklyn, Bronx? You coming from Jersey City? I'm coming from Jersey City. Joey, where are you watching from?
Morristown,
New Jersey. All right. And Roy?
Washington Township.
Hey, baby. I love it. Well, we're excited to have you, gentlemen. A few questions over here. If I'm a Prime member, do I have to pay for the Expo ticket? Alexander, we're going to be offering you guys the Expo tickets at an extremely discounted rate since you are already a Prime member. We don't have the exact dates yet, but as soon as we have the dates up, we'll send you an email. This way you can have the option to purchase the Expo ticket cheaper than you can get it anywhere else. Where is the Expo? Online, so you can watch it from your home. All right. So, hey, once again, you guys who are on here live with us now and even watching the replay, comment in the comment section. Let me know where you're watching from. I need to see exactly where you're tuning in from. All right, here we go. We got a lot of people coming. We got Malcolm from Manhattan. What's up, Malcolm? Alexander from Brooklyn. Doug in the building. What's up, Doug? From North Bergen. Okay. Guys that are just watching, make sure you comment and let me know where you're tuning in from. Okay. So with that being said, all right, good. Let me take that down. Okay, so with that being said, let me give you guys an idea of how this event is going to run today. Okay, so what you can expect. This is a fix and flip event and 100% financing. So we're going to be diving in with Roy and Joey and figuring out how are they financing their deals today, right? What if they have no money? What if they have a little bit of money? What if they have all the money in the world? How are they best strategically strategizing so they can get the money that they need to be able to finance these deals and to complete them? In addition to that, how are they finding deals today? And how are they hiring and managing contractors? Because I know we all know here on this live right now, contractors is one of the most important things that we need to talk about today. Am I right?
Absolutely.
All right. And so that's what we're going to be covering in today's webinar. And in addition to that, we're also going to hit on, what direction are we going in? What are these guys, what are ways that we can strategically position ourselves this way? If anything does happen in the future, how can we best be protected? So we're going to be getting into all that today. Second thing is, who is this event for? If you're brand new to real estate and you don't know anything about fix and flips, this is an event for you, because we're going to be diving in with strategic and tactical lessons, as well as things that you can start implementing on within the next 24 hours to really start building yourself momentum. The whole secret to success is, how do you build your momentum? Because I'm sure both of you guys know, right? You don't become successful just off day one, right?
I was.
Joey was. My man. But the truth is, we have to get good at, finding things that keep pulling us forward, because we're going to hear from Roy and Joy. They have more stories than any of us can ever imagine when it comes to getting hit in the mouth and still showing up. So if you're brand new, we're going to be diving into all the strategical things when it comes to fix and flip. And in addition to that, if you're experienced, you're going to get to hear how these two guys are scaling their business and how they're consistently putting out projects on a monthly basis. So it's for definitely experienced and inexperienced individuals. We're going to have some fun tonight. Last but not least, before I get into introducing the guest, okay, let me tell you how this is going to run. It's around 7:11 now. We're going to end this event today by 8:30. So at the very end of the event, we're going to open up for Q&A. I'm going to be putting all your guys' questions. We're going to pin them up. Let me give you an example. So, right, we pin this up down here. Someone's tuning in from South Plainfield at the kids' soccer practice. That is amazing. We got Clifton, New Jersey. What's up, Sean? How are you, brother?
Hey, Sean.
Daniel from Jersey City. Yo, Daniel, hit me up, bro. I'm from Jersey City as well. Samuel from Asbury Park, right? So I'll be pinning up your guys' questions, and both Joey and Roy are going to be able to answer your guys' questions at the very end of the event. So make sure you stay on until then. In addition to that, okay, we're going to be hearing kind of like real strategical things in terms of what's going on in today's market, how these guys are finding deals, funding deals, and doing all the creative stuff to really keep things moving forward in today's market. So we're going to have a lot of fun. And then last but not least, we have one special giveaway that my man Joey Chan is going to be giving away for us. So you got to make sure you're paying attention. I'm going to ask a random question throughout this live event, and whoever answers the question correctly is going to get to win the giveaway that Joey is offering. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to kick some butt tonight. Gentlemen, are you guys ready to dive into this with me?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So first and foremost, Joey Chan, man, dude, this dude's been definitely a mentor to me. This dude has so much experience in the construction space and even in the investing space, and he's always strategically thinking, and he's very truthful, which truth is hard to find sometimes. And this guy always just gives it to me as it is. He's like, look, these are the numbers. Quit trying to make stuff up, right? So Joey, please give our audience just a quick, brief background and let us know who you are and what you're all about today.
Yes, sir. So, hey guys, how are you? So I've been in the construction industry about 17 years. I got into real estate about 12 years ago. First one being like a buy and hold. And then I moved on to a large commercial property. And then about 3 years ago, I started doing flips for myself. So, and then once I kind of discovered hard money, like 3 years ago, I started ramping up the volume on flips. All right. So that's basically a quick background about me. Also used to be a home inspector as well. And I own a couple of other businesses as well, own a restaurant, own a kitchen cabinet company. So, I'm not just doing real estate and construction.
And you're also a father, right? You got a few young babies.
Yeah, I got 3 kids, which, Elijah knows. They like to spray them with water cannon. Right.
Yeah, man, good times. Well, Joey, we're super excited to have you. Joey, do me a favor, lift up your screen just a little bit so you're even with Roy's head and my head. All right. Roy, this is a dude that I've been following literally for the past few years now. Just seeing the products that you deliver to the market, Roy, have been absolutely inspiring for me as a young investor, just to see the type of work, the time that you guys put into the products that you deliver, and how you guys get these things so quickly. Roy, it's super an honor for me to be here with you tonight. So, Roy, please give our audience a brief background and let us know kind of, what your day-to-day is like today.
Thank you, Eli. I appreciate that, man. What an intro. Roy Time is, we do mostly, we started with fix and flips about 5 years ago in 2015, and I can't even believe that I'm saying that out loud. 5 years just flew by like that.
Right.
But, we do basically a mix of fixer-uppers, fix and flip projects where you do very little, light to medium rehabs inside, all the way up to full gut renovations. And we also do additions, adding square footage, and, just heavier projects than your run-of-the-mill, like lipstick on a pig type fixer-upper. We do roughly like 15 to 20 projects a year, although this was a light year because of COVID. We kind of not pumped the brakes, but we let our foot off the gas a little bit this year. But now that things are ramping up again and the market seems to be getting hot, we're definitely buyers again in this market. And yeah, we still have active projects that we've been working on pre-COVID, and we actually picked up a couple more post, and we're actively looking for projects, whether it's fix and flip, medium rehabs. We're looking at bigger scope stuff again. We stopped doing that a little bit for the last few months. We were really looking for the quick turnaround products. Now we're just, we're looking for wherever we can find a deal again.
I love it. You gentlemen both killed it on those introductions. So listen, guys, if you guys are excited, if you guys are ready to dive into this, I want you to put it in the comment section right now. You guys have to be here with me, okay, throughout this whole event. Put it in the comment section. I want you to put YES with as many exclamation marks as you can fit. Give me the yes if you're super excited, if you're pumped up to be here with us this evening and to learn from Joey and Roy, just to show appreciation for them. So put the yeses in the comment section now. All right, gentlemen. So let's get started. We typically start with, introductions and like how you guys got started and all that. But both of you guys have so much experience and we have a few minutes here with each other. So I want to know, based off today, off the current market right now, are you guys currently fixing and flipping? And if so, what do the deals need to look like so you can pull the trigger on them? We'll start off with Joey.
Yeah, so doing fix and flips, because right now is really a seller's market, I'm kind of like selling off everything, like literally everything. So I haven't really picked up a new project for myself. I've actually just been selling them. All the projects we picked up, we've been just basically wholesaling, right? I had a chance to work with Roy. We sold a project to Roy recently.
Yeah.
Which is real cool.
Yeah, it was.
So, we've got like another 3 other projects that we're actually selling. We have 2 projects that are fully finished, that's under contract that we're selling. And then, like I said, 3 other ones that are actually just wholesale.
Now, Joey, were these deals that you have under contract that you sold as fix and flips? Were these that you bought like a while ago, or these things that you bought kind of recently?
No, so the one project, these were all like the fix and flips were just slightly like pre-COVID, and one's right after during COVID, and the other one was actually in January we purchased. So, that one we got basically $30,000 over asking. It's under contract now. We're just working on trying to get the CO completed. So that's cool. And then, like I said, the other 3, we have one that's where we actually have it under contract with another investor to wholesale, and then the other 2 we actually are gonna end up wholesaling them. One's, and actually we're actually looking for buyers, so if anybody's interested, we have I
might be interested.
Yeah, we have a 2-family that's turnkey in Jersey City Heights, and we have a single family in Irvington needs work. And what other project? We actually have a subject to deal that we're actually going to close on ourselves in Linden, New Jersey, just because of the amount of dollars required to close on it. It's $5,000. So we're just going to close on it, and we're going to keep it.
I love it. Well, we're going to get into all that, Joey, and it sounds like great stuff. So, Joey, let me ask you. You said something about subject to, like, are those the only type of deals that you'll buy right now, or like as of right now in today's market, right? Because keep in mind, new people are watching and maybe they want to buy their first fix and flip. For you personally, what does a deal need to look like right now so you can pull the trigger on it, where it's like a no-brainer for you?
So right now, for us to purchase it ourselves, numbers have to be super attractive. It has to be more or less a home run deal for us. So what was a home run deal? It's somewhere like in the 50% ARV range, and because we do our own marketing, that's how we're getting it, to kind of jump forward a little bit.
And real quick, for anyone who doesn't know what you mean by 50%, can you give me an example in terms of numbers, maybe, of what that is?
Yeah. So as people understand, ARV is after repair value, right? That means when you fix up the property, that's your, if you were to sell the property fully repaired on the MLS, that's your ARV, after repair value. So let's say ARV is 300,000, and if I'm getting it for $150,000, but also the other factor that I didn't talk about was the amount of repairs. So typically, if the amount of repairs is, let's say, $30,000 to $50,000, that would be a decent deal for us.
Absolutely. So the less rehab, you can get in and out quicker, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, that includes the rehab.
Got it.
50% I was talking about. So we're picking it up for like 100,000, and then putting in 50,000 for the repairs, and then whatever holding costs, loan costs, and things like that.
If you guys like those numbers, put it in the comment section and let me get a oh yeah if that's the type of deal that you'd be interested in, because that's definitely good criteria, and I'm sure you do that because it protects you just in case anything were to happen. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way you kind of gauge your cushion is your profit. Your profit is your cushion. So the more profit you're gonna have, that's your cushion. So if your profit is $100,000 potentially, that's your cushion. So unless you're gonna squander that entire $100,000. So let's say something did go wrong, right? You had to hold it longer, you mispriced it, whatever it was. You had a contractor dispute, and now you only made $50,000. I'm not gonna cry, really.
Absolutely. Yes, you walk away with profit, which is a win.
Right.
All right, that's great. So thank you for that, Joey. Roy, I know you got a tremendous amount of experience, with these outer levels where you're taking off the tops, doing huge rehabs, and you of course have a lot of experience with, smaller rehab projects as well. So for you, right, like what is your thought process right now over fix and flips? I know you said you're interested in buying, so tell me why you're interested, and in addition to that, what does a deal need to look like so you can pull the trigger on it?
Yeah, so we're definitely still interested in buying, especially because the market is hot right now, and it's started to pick up again. We're interested, but we're still extremely cautious. We realize that the prices in our local markets have gone up quite quickly, in my opinion. So we are cautious. We don't want to. For me, I feel like the ARVs are still like a moving target, because we really don't know how long that's going to last. Mm-hmm. I mean, what's really driving our markets right now is the mass exodus from the cities, people coming down and buying up our real estate down here. And is that going to last another 6 months? Is that going to last another year or 2 years? It's still it's still questionable. So we want to be able to get into deals. We're not quite as aggressive as Joey would be. We're probably more like still like a 60 to 65%. If the deal makes sense and it's a quick in and out type of deal, we could even push it up to like a 70% ARV. And really, for the last few months, we were looking for more quick in and out type deals, like a 4-week, 5-week type of renovation. We were kind of straying away from the additions because, up until a couple months back, you couldn't even submit new permits for properties. So now, as that stuff has opened up a little bit more, we're considering going into, not considering, but we are going into some of the heavier type of rehabs also. So yeah.
You're seeing a lot of the. First of all, action in terms of buyers are still buying right now. Someone did ask a good question. What's your guys' like average ARV that you like to stay within or stay under when it comes to fix and flips right now, Roy?
Our ARV has always been below the $1 million mark. I mean, we go for like $799, $899 at the max, but our sweet spots are like that mid-price range, $599, $549, and even in some markets we were at $349. So, you know, first-time home buyer, people buying their first property. We like those types of buyers. You know, you don't have to do like crazy finishes. You're not going into crazy high price points. And, you know, you put in like nice, you know, quartz countertops, nicer finishes, and you wow people rather than having to go super high end and having to spend that extra money. So we've always been comfortable in that mid-level, entry-level price point.
Right, in the 5 to at the most 850 range.
Yeah, $899 was like the max. We have one house that's going to be listed at 1.1. That's one of like the ones that we pushed up a little bit higher. Yep. It's like the exception to our rule. Mm-hmm. But most of their stuff is mid to high, between 600 and 900,000.
I love it. Joey, what about you? What's the price range that you like to stay within when it comes to ARV?
So it really depends on the areas that we're doing. Like, for example, the, say, Jersey City, you know, area, and especially Jersey City Heights, you know, we're asking $750 for it, but it's a turnkey property where, you know, you come in and you do some little repairs here and there, but that's really it, you know. So it really depends on the areas. You know, like in the past, I've done the $850,000 homes, but really my bread and butter is under like 450. That's really like where we really are very comfortable with. You know, the higher ones, it's just because we have the opportunity, you know, and because we kind of know the market a little bit, you know, so that's the only reason we do it. If it was the market we didn't know, you know, we wouldn't really touch it.
So very important note that I want to hit on that both of them kind of touched on is really understanding who your client is. And they both said we're after the, you know, the new first-time home buyer in the 4 to 5 to 600 range. Because, you know, if you look at reports from 07, 08, 09, like those guys were still buying even when things got a little crazy. So that's definitely, you know, when two guys are saying it, it means something, right? It means something. So I want to kind of transition here. And guys, I see your questions. Keep your questions coming. I'm going to make sure we get to all your guys' questions. And by the way, if you're getting any value from this event at all today, make sure you hit that share button for us. All right. You know, spread the message to your friends, family, and just let people know what you're learning during these times. Okay. So I want to transition here and we'll go back to Roy. So Roy, you said that you would take on these added levels. You're also interested in doing, you know, projects that might need some bigger renovations as well as the projects that don't need a lot of renovations. So when it comes to finding deals, what are you doing right now in today's market to really source these deals? This way you can have options to choose from on ones that you do want to buy.
Yeah, so I mean, we've kind of been doing the same as usual. Most of our deals were coming from the MLS, so that's a little bit trickier now. It's a lot tougher to get deals on the MLS because.
Why do you think that is? Yeah.
Yeah, the market's really hot right now. I mean, people are just really driving the price up on anything, especially when it's below a certain price point. I mean, in our markets, anything below like, you know, 400,000 or 500,000 is flying off the shelf. If you have something that's, you know, below like 350, which is kind of our sweet spot in our areas to do an add level, it's just, you know, even owner occupant type of buyers are bidding those prices up, and you can't really compete against someone that's going to live in the house and kind of do their own rehab as they go along. So finding deals on the MLS has been a lot tougher. We've just been really honestly hitting up our relationship, you know, people that we have good relationships with, whether it be realtors, whether it be wholesalers. We've kind of shifted from getting a lot of deals from the MLS to now starting to get more and more deals from wholesalers, working with them more closely. Auction websites were another way we got a lot of deals. And again, that's kind of like the same thing as MLS. Everybody sees it. The prices are getting bid up like crazy. And we've been doing some of our own marketing. Doing like mailers to vacant properties, doing mailers to rundown properties. That we haven't really had as much of a success on. But if we do find one of those deals, they're usually home run deals because you're going straight to the source. So, even if we find like one or two deals like that a year, that makes up for the marketing efforts and the time that we spend on that. But yeah, for now, mostly since MLS has kind of dried up for us, just relationally, going back to our wholesalers and the realtors that we have worked with in the past, and give us like the pocket listings and deals that wholesalers find on their own, going directly with them.
I love that. So I'm curious because I remember when I first got started off wholesaling, 3 years ago, and I remember so many people would tell me that they're buyers and stuff, and I never knew who to trust. Of course, it's like, how do you know how to trust? So when it comes to working with wholesalers, like, how do you know that they're real, and like, how do you know it's someone that you want to work with when it comes to buying real estate, fix and flips?
That's kind of the toughest part, especially when you're working with somebody new, right? Like, we have people that we've worked with in the past, and we know that they're actual wholesalers getting the deals under contract themselves. It's not daisy chained like 5 times. Getting to the source, I think, is the most important part. Making sure that they have the actual contract, making sure that they've signed the contract. I mean, you don't have to see the pricing, and you don't have to see, they can block all that stuff out, but have them show you proof that they're actually the contract holders, and not, it's not some, we're JVing this, right? That's the famous rule.
My partner has it.
Yeah, my partner has it. I'm a JV partner on this deal, right? When you hear that, it's like daisy chained like 3 times.
Right.
But things like that. And then you get to work with people that and trust, and you build relationships that way. And once somebody sends you a deal and they know that you're a buyer, and that they're for real, they keep bringing you deals because they know that you're going to close on it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the people that we've actually wanted to work with in the past that have brought us great deals, like we made sure that we closed on those deals to make sure that they know that we are serious buyers. That's really important. Don't be wishy-washy with going back and forth, and have open lines of communication. Let them know that you're serious, and find out if they're serious also. I think it goes kind of both ways, because I'm sure there's a lot of shadiness on the buying end also. People say that they're going to come to the closing table and they never end up doing that. So you want to make sure that you have a reputation of being able to close on deals. It's really important.
That's such an important point. I appreciate you for hitting on that for all of our viewers as well as for myself. So, I'm wondering, like, if I'm brand new to the fix and flip space, and let's say I have some capital, or I know how to get the capital together. I have my criteria, my ARVs that I want to stay within. When it comes to finding and meeting these wholesalers, where in the world do you do that at, and how do you do it?
So I've been able to do a lot of it online, and I've probably found most of my connections from the wholesaling side on Facebook, to be honest with you.
Are you just DMing everyone? Are you like the DM king?
No, I don't do the DM king. I don't do the DM. But look, a lot of people reach out because you post stuff that, for example, I'm doing an ad level in Bergenfield, right? So if somebody finds an ad level in Bergenfield, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, Roy just posted that property that he almost finished in Bergenfield. This looks like it could be for him. So they send that over. I've gotten a lot of deals like that. I've met a lot of wholesalers like that. Just pretty much putting yourself out there, letting people know what you do. It's been a huge benefit for me, just putting myself out there like this.
Yeah. So, I mean, for anyone who's watching, like, something tactical, even if you're brand new, like just saying that, I'm attending an event, learning about financing and how to buy fix and flips. That's part of documenting the process. And that's exactly what Roy is talking about, because you put that out there and then other people see it, and guess what? Now they're interested. and then they'll reach out and you have the conversation. So when you're having the conversation, Roy, with these wholesalers, like, are you sending them proof of funds, or like, how are you letting them know that you're serious?
Yeah, we can send them proof of funds. We also just send them like kind of like a detailed criteria. Here's some good advice, right? When someone asks you, like a wholesaler, they ask you what's your criteria and what are you looking for. And I used to do this in the beginning, which is a big mistake. I used to be like, oh yeah, we buy anything. We buy in Bergen County, Union County, Essex County, and all this stuff, right? And then they would send me deals for like Newark, which I don't do anything in. And then they would send me deals in like Irvington or East Orange or areas that I don't do any business in. So when you're speaking to them, kind of first you should understand for yourself and nail down your own criteria of what you're looking for. I think that's first and foremost. And then once you get that understanding, put that word out there and tell people, like I will tell people like the 10 top towns that I'm active in. If you find anything in these 10 towns, single family, two family, bring them to me first. I will be a closer. If the price is right and they're in these 10 towns, those are the towns that I'm active in. Now I do other towns also besides 10 towns, but there probably is like 10 towns that I'm very like active in. So I'll communicate that. And that's helped me tremendously in getting deals instead of being like, oh yeah, I do all North Jersey, you know, because then you're going to get stuff that you never will touch. And it's just going to bog down your email. It's going to bog down your time. It's going to bog down their time. They're going to send you stuff and get frustrated while you never got back to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just when you start nailing it down, that's when you start finding more deals.
I love that. That's something practical we all can do is, have your criteria, have your list, know exactly what you want. This way, when you're speaking to people, you can tell them what you want. Keeps things so much simple. All right. We did have one question on here that I like. Amy asked, when you bid on occupied homes, on an auction, would you bid on an occupied home on an auction website right now? Knowing that, evictions aren't really in play and all that stuff.
Personally, I wouldn't.
So Roy, this is for Roy. I'll let you answer next, Joey. Roy, go ahead.
Yeah. So we never had. Well, I shouldn't say never. I guess we've done it once, but we never really bid on occupied homes. We like to have them vacant. I think it's a different business model to get in there and try to do evictions, try to get them out, unless they're like really, really willing. If you have a conversation with the occupant and they know the deal and they're willing to move out, then maybe we would consider it. But other than that, like we're not really in the business to take people out of their homes. We like to go into the vacant property and just start as soon as we close on the deal. And the other reason that we like to do that is because we want quick turnarounds. We want quick turns. So we don't want to wait 2 months or 3 months or whatever the time period is to get them out. We want to go in there, close on the property. Next day, we're either getting permits or we're planning on getting started, or if permits aren't needed for whatever reason, and we're starting on that property the next day. So we like to work quick for the properties that we take on.
I love it. Joey, do you want to add to this?
It's basically the same exact thing.
Okay. All right. So, Joey, I know you hit on the fact that, you're picking up deals right now at 50% of what they're worth with the purchase and the renovation. So everyone on here is wondering, man, how in the world are you sourcing deals today, and what kind of marketing are you doing? How are you separating yourself to get these kind of deals?
Yeah, so we kind of do mailers, right? We have a cold caller that makes calls for us, and then we kind of also leverage our relationships with other wholesalers as well. So we kind of find out where their deals are. Is it even a deal, first of all? Because we get so much stuff. Like my inbox is constantly full of wholesaler stuff, and maybe 1% is even a deal. So we kind of talk to them and see if it's worth it or not, to kind of move forward. The other thing that Roy kind of touched upon is, Facebook, right? Facebook is really powerful. I've gotten several deals in the past through Facebook, actually. One of the deal we fixed and flipped back last year. We closed last year in December. Was from Facebook. It was just a like a I don't even know what kind of group. It was just like a for sale kind of group, and it was a lady that was like, "Hey, uh, I'm looking to sell my house," and like 100 people attacked her. Like, "Yeah, I'll buy a house. I'll buy your house." And then basically, we ended up just kept following up on that. Like everybody else kind of just gave up. Like, oh, okay. And then we kept following up. So in the end, after a few months of kind of just talking to this person, we ended up buying the house. So we ended up buying it for I would say 57% of the ARV, including the rehab. And we did very well on that house. Okay. So that was something we got off of Facebook.
Now, are you guys paying for Facebook, or is this just like
No. It's not like Facebook ads. It's not like ads. We're just kind of monitoring the groups, the different groups, the for sale groups and things like that. And I guess it was kind of lucky. So it's not like a business model you can really count on, but we've done it like 2 times already. So that's the second one wasn't really a home run, but the first one really was. So that was that. And then another one is just, like I said, it was more like wholesalers just posting on Facebook and just kind of following up and sort of negotiating a little bit to where, it's a price doable for you.
So I love that because, first of all, there's so many people on Facebook. Like, we're streaming this on Facebook right now.
Yeah.
And we've had over 80 people on here with us already. And so it's like there's so many people you can meet on Facebook. So really learning how to network and, establish that rapport and introduce yourself and learn more about the person that you're talking to through Messenger, through posting is something I think we all can do a little bit better. And I mean, both you guys are getting deals from it. So that's obviously one way to do it without any money, because it doesn't cost to create a Facebook account, right?
That's right. Yeah, that deal cost us literally no money, except lunch. We took the guy.
So you did spend some money.
But that's...
And Joey's too modest. He doesn't give himself enough credit, but that, he said he's lucky getting that deal, but it wasn't luck. He was consistent and he followed up and he did the things that no one else was willing to do at that point, and he got the deal. And that just shows like the power of following up. And you can't just like post stuff and forget about it. You have to follow up, and that's what got Joey the deal. I mean,
yeah,
I'm going to give Joey the credit because he doesn't get it to himself. So
right,
that was to you, man.
Yeah, so it's just a lot of follow up, being real with the people. So for example, I got another deal. Let's say back in also December 2018, and I was actually the lowest bidder, and I ended up getting the deal just because the lady liked me, because of my personality. I wasn't like really pushy, but I was real with her. That was the thing. I showed up in my contractor van, in my tan contractor jacket. So she knew like, hey, this is a legit contractor and not some guy, off the street. Right. So I told her what I did. I said, I bought houses and, I'm a full-time contractor, and I showed her pictures from some of the projects I did, things like that. And this was off a mailer actually. And I had mailed her a year and a half prior. So she kept my mailer for a year and a half before she called me. So that one was kind of like a surprise. And then I was bidding against, like I said, 2 other people, but one was also a legitimate buyer. He was a builder, she told me. The other one was actually a wholesaler. And she went through the contract and she was like, hey, this contract has a lot of out clauses. And I didn't like that. And she ended up actually writing the contract and giving it to me, whereas normally when we give the offer, we give our buyers the contract. I said, no problem. I was comfortable because it was just a regular MLS contract, right? So I was very comfortable with it. And, we ended up assigning that deal though for a nice profit.
That's great, man. So I want to hit on this before we go into our next topic is there's all sorts of ways to kind of generate deals. And, both these guys just gave each and every one of you 2 ways to, in essence, generate it in a way where you really don't need much money at all. And that literally is, it's building connections through Facebook specifically. And, I know Roy's putting out content on Instagram and there's even LinkedIn. So it's like really be aware of the time that you're spending on social media. Because if you're just there scrolling versus like there intentionally and reaching out to people and figuring out ways to add value, it'll only be a matter of time before you as well are starting to get deals from, those type of sources. So appreciate you guys for sharing that. So let's transition here. Cause today's event, a lot of people are wondering, all right, so we have our criteria, we know our neighborhoods, we know our price range, we got these deals in front of us, but actually I want to talk about the financing first. So when it comes to putting the money together, right? How are you guys, what strategies are you guys utilizing today? This way you can really capitalize when it comes to putting money together. We'll start off with Joey for this.
Yeah. So the way I originally did it a long time ago, like my first project, I ended up saving. Well, actually, no, I didn't. I basically came up with 10% of the down payment. I had a business partner that came up with the other 10%. And then my wife, she had good credit. We got a conventional mortgage. That's how we did it. It was a share of sale. And, we purchased the property. And basically, we borrowed. So my 10% was from a private lender. So I had 0 saved for that project. And then the rest of the money, the other half of my construction cost, I also borrowed from that same private lender. Whereas my business partner, he had his own savings. So that's how we did our first project.
So just to recap that, you used the wife's credit, you used private lenders' money for the down payment as well as for part of the rehab. And then you had a business partner who was involved in the transaction who put up the rest of the funds. And you had 0 in that one.
Yes.
I love it. So talk to me about today. What are you guys doing today when it comes to financing? This way you can continue doing. Are you still doing, 100% financing today?
Yes. That's crazy, right? So that one was done by accident. Like 12 years ago. That was done by accident. It was not intentional at all. Now it's intentional, where we either, depending on the deal, so for example, like if it was that $5,000 subject to deal, we're not going to borrow money for that. We're just going to put our own funds and close on it. But if it's a slightly larger deal, we usually get private lenders. So we have private lenders that either has an IRA, or they also, one of my private lender, he leverages his line of credit. So he kind of does what we call arbitrage on his line of credit. So he gives me, basically he gets, his line of credit is like 4.5%, 5%. And then I borrow from him at 8%. So he makes that little difference in between. There's actually a great book. It's called The Banker's Code. That if you guys ever read that, and it actually talks about doing that. So anyhow, that's what one of my lenders do. Okay, and so that's how we're able to. So the way I kind of structure it is, we get, let's say, whatever the hard money loan needs, either a 10 or 20%. Right now is a little higher, it's 20% of, well, actually 15, but a few months ago it was 20%. So we would get our 15% in order to do the down payment, plus our closing costs, plus our points that we have to pay. And then not only that, on top of that, we also try to get our holding costs for at least 6 months in there, plus a little bit for a cushion for, like, let's say construction. So we get all that, let's say between 60 to 100,000 typically for a like a $200,000 project. Okay, or I should say like $250,000 project. So we get that amount. We have an account dedicated to that only, and from there, basically, the majority of that, let's say 50-60,000, goes to purchasing the property, and then the leftover is for the holding costs, paying utilities, getting started with the contractors, subcontractors, things like that. So
Wow.
we're always funded.
Yeah, that's so important. So many people don't talk about that aspect of it, of the holding costs, as well as contractors. A lot of them, especially serious guys. I mean, Joey, does a serious contractor need money up front, or do they prefer to have money up front? Yes or no?
Absolutely, yeah. And
so it's like, where is that money coming from? And so that's such an important thing, that make sure that you are factoring in for that. So just to recap kind of what Joey shared, is that you guys are using hard money right now.
Correct.
And with the hard money, you have to have some sort of down payment, which is like 15 to 20% right now. Before COVID, what was it around the down payment?
Before COVID, we actually got from certain hard money lenders 100% financing, actually.
Okay, got it. So before COVID, there were lenders that would literally give you all the purchase and all the rehab as long as the criteria fit their model. And as of right now, we're at around 15 to 20% with the majority of lenders that are out there. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to getting those funds together, as well as the funds for the construction and the holding costs, you have this word that I keep hearing you say over and over again, which is the private lenders. Correct. So can you just give everyone out there just maybe one or two ways that you meet your private lenders, and how do you kind of start that conversation with them to even see if they're interested in, joining some of your projects?
Yeah, so it's pretty easy. So these people, you actually already know them. Okay. But the thing is, you don't ever think of them as a private lender. So these are your friends, your family, co-workers, just people you kind of bump into every day. It could be somebody you ride the bus to New York City with, the guy you sit next to, the girl you sit next to. And it's just a matter of letting them know what you do. It's like everybody I talk to ever, I always let them know, hey, I'm a investor. I don't even tell them I'm a contractor. Like, who cares about that, really? I tell them, look, I'm an investor. I buy, you see those "We Buy Houses" signs?
You got a van,
guys. I buy
a van.
Billboard.
Yeah. So that's what I do. And then it kind of gets them curious, and they start asking you questions. Oh, how do you do it? What do you do? So I tell them, hey, I do a lot of fix and flips. This is what I do. I take my phone out. I show them, hey, these are some of the projects I did recently. Here's the numbers. I go on Zillow and I show them, this is my profit. We bought this property for $100,000. We spent $60,000 on it. We made $80,000, whatever, you just kind of like go through it. Right. But what do you do if you have no experience?
Right.
You talk about your, potential partner. It's like, hey, I have a great partner, and, Roy, he did like, I don't know, 100 fix and flips in the last 5 years, so, so you got to leverage your relationships, basically.
I think that's beautifully hit on there. So I want to transition to Roy, because I know, Roy, you got a lot of creative ways when it comes to financing, but I mean, to tie into kind of what Joey said, do you want to talk about how you kind of, I don't want to get into your first ADA level, because I know you did a lot of partnerships with that, but tell me what you're doing today when it comes to financing.
Yeah, we're very similar. I mean, all of our deals are wrapped around hard money also. And same thing, we have our set of private investors that we're constantly looking to build, private lenders. That like Joey said, it's it's your network of people that you know. It could be your friends, it could be your family, it could be Aunt John, Uncle John, Aunt Susie, whatever it is. Your own network of people, and I think that network of people as private lenders, as private investors, is way, way, way more important than the hard money lenders. Not to discount the hard money lenders, that relationship is also super important. But the hard money lenders are always going to be there lending at, either 90 or 80% on the purchase and 100% on the finance. I don't want to say they're a dime a dozen. They're not all created equal. They're not all the same. We have our ones that we feel comfortable with, and we only use one or two hard money lenders. But to build that base of private investors, of private lenders, that's the most important part about this business. If you want to go to scale, if you want to grow, if you want to do one or two projects a year, and that's good enough, and you can probably do that with one lender, or maybe you make a little bit of money and you do that with your own money. But if you really want to scale this thing, and you want to do like 20, 30, 40 projects a year, again, the hard money lenders are always going to be there. You got to focus on growing that base of private investors and growing that capital pool. You got to always look for new investors, so to speak. So we do that, and I think a lot of people get private lenders and hard money lenders confused. They get them mixed up because a lot of hard money guys, and I hate when they do this, but a lot of hard money guys call themselves private lenders. They're more institutional lenders. They could be lending their own private money, but they're companies that are lending their money. The private lenders, because I see it on Facebook all the time. Hey, who's the private lender that I can use? And then you'll see like 20 hard money guys say, hey, you can borrow from me. You can borrow from me. Yeah. They're not the guys that we're looking for. We're looking for the private lender guys, the guys that want to they don't have a private lending company. They're literally writing you a check out of their checkbook or wiring you funds out of, it could be your doctor, it could be your neighbor, it could be somebody that's lending their own money, not an institutional type guy. So those are the types of guys that we're looking for to build our capital base. And then the other thing that I hate is that I hate the word, using other people's money, because people see that as like a negative. We are using other people's money, but we're doing it in a way that it benefits both parties or all parties. We're offering people double-digit returns. We're giving them solid returns for their investment. It's backed by a real property. It's backed by real estate. And like Joey said, it's about having these conversations with these types of people, telling them what you do, and telling them what you're about, how long you've been in the business, showing them your profiles. People love showing, rehabbers love showing other people their work. Like, hey, look at this house that I did. Look at this renovation that I did, right? And people get excited about that because this is kind of like it's like a hot industry. You have all the shows on HGTV. Everybody wants to be a real estate investor. You tell somebody that, hey, you can invest some money and become a real estate investor. That gets people excited. It gets me excited. I know like a lot of people like love that whole aspect of it, turning something from caca to like filet mignon. So if someone could get involved in that, I think that goes a long way also, and then make money on the same side at the same time. I think that excites people. So you got to just tell people what you do and grow that base. So that's what we do. We use that private money. Same thing with Joey. We use that for like the 10, 15, or 20% down. And then we use some of that money for working capital to do some of the construction. And then the rest is used with the hard money lenders, the institutional hard money lenders.
I love it. I feel based off what both you guys kind of shared, so many people are stuck in the conventional ways, of like, oh, let's put our money in the bank and let's just leave it there. But in reality, you guys are kind of the superheroes, because you're like, look, how's your money performing? Oh, that's how it's performing. Have you thought about getting maybe higher returns and lending on something that you can see, touch, and feel and taste? So you guys are really bringing the value to the table. And for anyone who's like a new investor out there, like, understand that you're the value, but you also have to be able to execute. And both of these gentlemen execute very well. So that's great. So let's hit on a few questions here. Samuel asked, what hard money lenders do you guys work with? Roy, you want to name one or two of them if you want to? You
Yeah,
don't have
we use Alpha Funding Partners, and we also use Arcad Capital. Those are the two guys that we use.
Joe, anyone you want to? Because I know you also
use Alpha Funding Partners and Peak Private Lending.
All right. Roy, I did want to ask you, when it comes to meeting some of these private lenders, I know we talked about, the doctors, the neighbors, like, are you just having like parties and inviting all the neighbors over, or like, what's kind of your process?
No, I've seen people do that, and I've seen people do that with a lot of success, but yeah. I like to do one-on-one, man. I like to be like one-on-one conversations, and whoever I see, whoever I think that could get a benefit out of investing into one of my deals, like, I'll just tell them, what I do and what it is. And it's just about having those conversations. Like you said, hey, you have $100,000 in the bank that's getting 0.00002%, whatever it is. I can give you double-digit returns. I can give you a 10% return. And this is what we do, this, and this. And you get it in this time frame, right? 6 to 12 months. Well, and usually, like, if it's somebody that's smart, that understands money, that has money like laying aside, usually they go for it, because it's a different type of investment. It's backed by something real. They can go and physically touch it. They can go see the property, see that work is being done. It's not some like, arbitrary thing that they can't see and feel. And then you can, the fact that it's real makes it an easier type of investment to get investors involved in it, I think.
I think it makes a lot of sense. Would you want to do a quick mock one, like a mock example of it? I'll be the doctor. We don't have to, because we're running tight on time anyway, or we can.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I've never done a mock one before, but yeah, go for it.
All right, I'm the doctor here. Oh.
Hey, doctor, I don't know if you knew this about me, but for like the last 4 or 5 years, I've been investing into real estate. I've been doing fix and flip projects, and we actually take on investors. Would you you do any type of investing in real estate or stock market or anything like that?
Well, my wife got me an American Express card, and we've had a lot of money in the bank. I haven't really found too many places to put it yet, but I'm interested.
Yeah, well, if you're ever interested, I mean, I hate to see people having just money in the bank where it's gaining absolutely nothing. If you're interested, next time we have some type of property, I'd love to be able to show it to you and to bring you an opportunity. If you're open to that, I'd love to be able to see what type of return we can get for you rather than what you commonly have. Yeah, so it's just,
I'd be interested.
Yeah, that's good. Like that, just getting the like the acting. Yeah.
You guys fired up about that? Put in the comment section. Let me know if that was awesome or what. You're doing this live, y'all.
It's just something that describes what you're doing and what type of like return you can get them, and you have, especially with somebody that you already have a relationship with, it's a lot easier to have that conversation, I feel like.
100%. So I want to hit something very important there, because what Roy was doing was he was planting the seed, right? So he understands the doctor's probably busy. He's not trying to close him right now. It's like, look, doctor, if there's a conversation that we can have to get you better returns, would you be interested in learning more? He says, yes, great. Set the appointment when the next deal comes up, or however you're going to structure it, then have that follow-up appointment with them. I think that was done beautifully. Thank you, Roy.
You don't want to go for the kill in the first instance. Yeah.
I love it. All right. So, gentlemen, we have to hit on this topic. This is a topic that everyone wants to know about. I'm getting questions all on this here. And that is, with the market being so hot today, it seems like so many people are doing their own renovations, fixing up their own houses and stuff. What is it like with the contracting space, with hiring subcontractors? Is it easy now? Talk to me about the construction side of things right now with the way things are going. We'll start with Joey.
Right now, contractors are busy. A lot of guys the good guys are out a good month, 2 months, sometimes. Like, I've got enough stuff till the end of the year. I don't need to take on another project until the end of the year. But I'm still like, squeezing a weekend here, a couple days there, smaller projects, because if they're gonna give me money, I'm gonna take it. Right. So with subcontractors, it it's kind of hard to find a really good one you want to keep. You have to kind of try them out, right? I know Roy's constantly trying out guys. I'm constantly trying out different guys, because you always want that combination of value, price, and also them actually showing up, and it's kind of like giving you a little bit of advice too. So there's a lot that kind of goes into it. So not everything is price, right? People think, hey, I'm just gonna find the lowest price guy, but how does he communicate? Does he kind of get back to you within like 3 days, let's say? So if I text one of my subcontractors and 3 days later they don't text me back, I don't want to work with you, because it's just too difficult. We're in the 21st century. Like, I want to hear from you like within an hour or something like that. I understand a lot of guys, especially if they're more hands-on, they may not reply right away, especially if they're working. You don't want them on the phone all day. You want them working. So some guys, I understand, during the day they're not as responsive, but usually in the evenings, they'll text you back and stuff like that. I like, contractors like that.
Yeah, and those are some really great points. So for you, it really comes down to, number one, like, you have to be able to communicate with me so I can make sure I'm on the same page with you, and things are running smoothly. In terms of payment, Joey, how do you normally handle payment, especially with subcontractors? I know you have your whole construction crew. How do you handle payment with subcontractors? You giving deposits up front? Are you doing it on the back end? What's that process like for you?
So it really depends on them. I kind of let them dictate what the payment structure is. Like, for example, I have a couple of good subcontractors that, for example, my plumber, I don't pay him till the end. Like, I don't give him a penny. And it's always been like that, right? My electrician, I basically pay him like half after he finishes the rough inspection. I don't give him any deposit. I give him half after the rough inspection, and then when he's done with the final, I'll give him the other half. So that's how I kind of do it. For other guys, like, let's say framers, and like my sheetrock guy, for example, is the same thing. I don't pay him till he's basically like done. So a lot of these guys are more like in and out type of guys. They don't tend to drag the job on, and they're kind of specialists also.
Right.
So I usually hire specialists. I tend not to hire general contractors, because that's what I am.
Yeah.
So I don't, unless I'm giving that general contractor the entire project, where he's running with the entire project, like he's hiring the electrician, he's hiring everybody, then I kind of give them payments in like we set up a payment schedule,
Right.
So every contractor, we kind of do that way.
Now, this is very important, because a lot of you guys are wondering, how to find contractors and stuff. You have a guy who's been in the construction space for years, okay, and he's telling us like what it's like in his shoes. So, Joey, me as like a new investor, let's say I wanted to hire a general contractor. What do you think are some of the things that I should look out for when it comes to hiring someone like yourself, and what makes a great contractor great?
Everybody has their own pluses and minuses, right? I think especially for general contractor, like I mentioned earlier, communication. Somebody that's going to communicate with you and kind of keep you up to date on what's going on. You don't want a general contractor that you don't hear from for like 2 weeks, because you don't even know what's going on. Unless you're the type where you're going to the job site every single day, you want somebody to be able to communicate with you, you know. So at least, so it depends if you're buying material or they're buying material. So you want somebody to kind of tell you, hey, I need, you know, like the finished paint. I need you to buy the vanity, you know, and things like that, right? You want guys, like I said, to communicate, you know, and to kind of tell you ahead of time what's going on and schedule wise. So
Right.
I use an app for scheduling purposes, you know, and it's freaking expensive too, by the way.
What's the app called?
It's called Builder Trend, and I think it's $2.99 or $3.99 a month.
Wow.
So you know, so for retail clients, let's say, once I come in, give you the estimate, and we're close to starting the project, I come up with a project timeline. And in that project timeline, it has, I'm going to do a quick screen share if you don't mind.
Actually, yeah, we can.
Wait, not yet. I'll tell you when I'm ready. Because I got so many open screens. So, anyway, just to show you like what it looks like, real quick. So it, you know, it kind of tells you like, hey, what's going on at all times, you know, like schedule wise. Let's pick this one. Where the heck's the schedule? Sorry.
You're good. By the way, I see your guys' questions. Alexander, I got your questions. I'm going to get those answered. We're going to open up for Q&A here within the next 10 or so minutes. So make sure you guys, any questions you guys have, put them in the comment section. I'm going to be pinning all those up here in a second. So make sure we're staying active with that. All right. And UV, I believe that's your name. I see your questions, but I'll be sure to get to those. All right.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. So I'm ready for the screen share if you want to do that real quick.
Hope I don't break something. Yeah, I don't know how to do it, dude. This thing's too advanced for me.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Press screen share. Do you see it? You see my screen share?
No, I can't pull it up. I'm not that advanced, dude.
Okay. All right. Never mind.
Anyway, you guys can. Oh, Jesus, where'd you guys go? Sorry.
I think you had it for a second.
You guys can add Joey on Facebook if you want to see that
Yeah.
the app that he's talking about, and he could send you the details for it. Okay. So Joey, you use this app primarily for scheduling. This way, everyone's aware on your page. So I think that's a very important note because anyone that you're working with, you all need to be on the same page, and like that's one of Joey's main things. So thank you for sharing that, Joey.
You got it.
All right, Roy. I know you've started your own construction company as well. So can you kind of talk to me about, you know, what's the construction space like right now, and what are you doing to find quality people?
Yeah, well, when you say we start our own construction company, basically we have I have my own GC license, and we're only using our people to do our own builds and our own fix and flips. Sorry, what was the question? What are we doing to find people?
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, because it's like me as a new investor, right? Like I have to go out and find these contractors. So what's your process for finding, you know, quality workers? And then in addition to that, how are you qualifying them before you decide to work with them?
So a lot of our crews right now, especially on the bigger stuff, we sub out everything, and we manage our own subs. A lot of the guys that we've been working with for years now. But quick tip and stuff that I've used in the past that really works for finding good people. I used to be the guy that goes to like Home Depot at 7 o'clock in the morning and take pictures of like vans and stuff like that. Not to say anything wrong with that. I still have people that I use back from those days when I first started to do that. But a lot of those guys got weeded out. You find maybe like a lot of like handyman type people like that, like jacks of all trade. But for our builds, we're really looking for, like Joey said, the specialists within each trade. So if I'm looking for a framer and my framer's not working out for me anymore, I'll go to the lumberyard. And I'll be like, hey, who's in here often? Who's buying a lot of stuff? Who's buying a lot of lumber? If I'm looking for a plumber, I'll go to a plumbing supply store, not the Home Depot, but like the GPS, general plumbing supply stores, or one of the plumbing supply houses in the local area. Hey, who comes in here a lot? Who comes in here and does a lot of business? Same thing with siding. Same thing with all that stuff. And then referrals from other trades. So I'll ask my framer, who's a good guy that does foundations, because those two are kind of like married, right? Foundation goes first and then comes framing. I'll ask electricians and plumbers sometimes usually hang out together. I'll ask those guys, like, who do you recommend? And A players usually hang out with A players. So I found a lot of good people like that. And the other tip, I think I gave it last time, but so important. I use the guys that own their own businesses and they do the labor themselves, because they're not counting themselves as labor, right? Because they're doing it. It's their own business, so they're going to take pride in it. And C, they're gonna work quickly and efficiently, and get out of that job and finish it as quickly as possible, because that's how they make money. They're not going to dilly-dally. They're going to take the job. They're going to do it. And the other type of guy that I like using, the other types of people that I like using, are the guys that don't take multiple jobs and jumping around from like job to job. They take a deposit and then they go, work on your project for 2 days, and then you won't see them for another 2 days. They'll go jump around to another project and come back for you 2 days. I like the guy that tells me, hey, Roy, I can't make it to your job in 2 weeks. I'd rather have somebody tell me they're not going to make it for 2 weeks than have them come for 2 days and then come for another 3 days. Because then I can control that. If they say 2 weeks, all I got to do is call them 2 weeks prior and schedule it accordingly. So usually I always schedule my guys 2 weeks ahead of time, and I get my A players, so to speak. And those are the types of people that I like to work with. I think if you use those couple like strategies, you find really good people. And it's a revolving door, man. It's a revolving door until you find the right crews. We've spent 3 years revolving that door, and sometimes we still have to like trade people. But it really took 2 to 3 years until we could find a pretty decent, solid crew of people that we can rely on, and our go-to people.
Now, are you guys both buying all the materials yourself, or do you like to have the subs or the contractor? Like, who handles materials for you guys? Roy?
So I have one general contractor that does our fix and flips sometimes when we're backed up, and he's the only guy that I have that I trust. I've been working with him from the beginning. He's a little pricier, so the deal has to make sense. He'll buy everything. So we have deals with him where he does literally A to Z. He buys the kitchen cabinets, he buys the granite countertops, he buys everything from A to Z. So we don't make as much money on those deals because his pricing is higher. And if our guys did it, or if we did it ourselves, our margins would probably be a little bit higher, but it takes less resources. So we have that. And then for the ADA levels and for the jobs that we run ourselves, for example, it's different for everything, but our framer will charge us labor. We'll get the materials. Our painter, he'll get everything. He'll give us one price. The drywall guy, he'll give us one price. We don't buy any materials. Our trim guy, he'll give us a price for labor, and we'll buy the trim, because sometimes the finishes are different and you might want to do something upgraded. So usually we do the labor for that. Tile, same thing, because you don't know what the tile guy is going to choose. You can't just get a price for a tile. So we pick the tile. I guess usually like most of the finished work, we'll get like the materials. For everything else, we do labor and materials. Like drywall, for instance, it's going to be the same drywall no matter what you do. So we'll get one price. It's just a lot easier than trying to go to Home Depot and going for runs. Like have them do it. I used to do that in the beginning. I was like, no, I want labor for everything. I'll buy all the materials. But then you just go running rampant if you do that with every single trade. Like even electrical and plumbing, I used to get like, I have them buy like all like the little like plugs and like the little valves and everything, and then it was just too cumbersome. So my electrician, my plumber, my HVAC guy, they give me a price for everything. I get the finishes. So finishes meaning toilets, fixtures, lights. I'll buy that stuff. Everything else throughout the rough is them. So it's kind of like a mix throughout the different trades.
Yeah, no, you explained that very well. Joey, what about you? What's your process like with materials and hiring these guys?
It's actually the same exact thing. I think it's almost industry standard in a way to do it that way. Yeah, framers always, we've always had to buy the material, buy the nails for them. We supply everything. They just come, labor, they bring their guns, their compressors. Like roofing, same thing. We usually we get them to give us a material list. We order all the roofing, and usually we either have it. I forgot the name. We have it boomed up to the roof. They just unload right onto the roof itself. So that's kind of like a scheduling thing. So we try to do that to kind of speed things up and less labor for those guys. Yeah, and then drywall is the same thing, right? We don't run around, like Roy said, it's the same thing. Insulation, we have the installation guy supply it. So all the finishes, I usually supply it because the most of the time I'm either designer or I hire a separate designer, pick out all the material. So yeah,
perfect. Well, once again, two great guys on the same page. Take notes, ladies and gentlemen. All right, this is going to be my final question before I open up to the audience. So, guys, please make sure your questions are in the comment section. I see a lot of questions coming in already. We're going to pull those up here after this final question. Gentlemen, my final question is this. I want you to pretend you're talking to a newbie, like I'm brand new to the real estate space, right? I've read about it. I have a little bit of information, and I really want to get in a fix and flip. And let's say I don't really have too much money, but, I know I'm passionate. It's something that I want to do with fix and flip. And imagine you're actually talking to kind of your younger self in a way. What would be some of the advice that you would give yourself to really start building that momentum so you can stay at it and really start seeing some success in the fix and flip space? We'll start off with Joey.
I think the best thing to do is to kind of take time and kind of like shadow us, right? Just tag along, so there's a guy we interview, and his name is Charles Weinrob, and he basically this is exactly the advice I would give, and this is exactly what he did actually. So he was a business owner, and he kind of quit his businesses, and he just followed a more experienced investor, right, for a couple
3 years. 3 years.
Right? Yeah, you know the story, Elijah. So he followed them for a few years, free, no pay, to learn the business. And now what does he do? He does about 200 homes a year.
A year.
Okay, out in Long Island. That's what he does. So it's me, Roy, times 10. Well, not 10, but
It's amazing.
Yeah, the guy's but he also has a system too. You can't do 200 houses with no system. So that's what I would do. You don't have to do 3 years, okay? But I would, pick someone and just go and not really work for them, but follow them. Like do things for them. Bring value, right? Because if somebody say, "Hey, I'll come do whatever you want, just show me what to do," no problem. I welcome it. I've had a couple of people ask me, and the only thing is they've never actually done it.
Right.
Talk the talk, but nobody's ever actually taken up on that.
I love it. That's really good, man. That's good advice. So, find someone that you really resonate with. Could be Joey, could be Roy, or maybe it's someone else, but find someone that you really feel you can listen to and have a conversation or connect with, and, figure out how you can add value, whether that's your time, money, energy, whatever way, make it happen. No excuses. Great. Thank you so much for that, Joey. Roy?
Yeah, I just want to say real quick one thing. So I know you did that yourself, Elijah. With Nick, you basically followed him around for years with no pay, right? So you closed your first deal, and how rewarding was that, right?
6 long months, man. 6 long months, but it happened, and from there, it was just we're off to the roads, So good time.
So
all right, so I got 4 more minutes here. All right, Roy, give me the fire, baby.
All right. What advice would I give my younger self? Was that what the question was?
Yeah, like you're just starting off in the fix and flip space. Like, what do you say like we need to do to really position ourselves to start getting some type of success and building that momentum?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, for me, I think it probably would be to just get started. And for me, it would be like get started quicker. But just get started. I think a lot of people get caught up in like the analysis world on their first flip, and then months go by, years go by that they've never done a flip. And like I'm here to tell you, and maybe Joey had a different experience, but you don't get rich off your first deal. You don't get rich off your first flip. That first flip is really there to get from point A to point B. Don't go into any deal, obviously. Make sure the numbers make sense, but don't expect to hit a home run. Just get through the process. Like when I got through the process of my first deal, it wasn't a killing. And I think we totally, not I think, I know that we totally undersold that. But we got through the process. We got through the process of purchasing it, rehabbing it, finishing it up and selling it. And that one gave me a lot of not only momentum, but it was a big time education and confidence that, hey, there's something here. I didn't make a boatload of money, but there's something here that makes sense and something that's exciting and it's a lot of fun to do. And I think a lot of people sometimes get hesitant on that first deal has to be like this home run deal. I think it's better you just get over that hump and just just kind of like just do it.
I love it, man. If you guys have any fears or whatever, like you can message Joey and Roy on Facebook. They both respond to messages. So I don't want you to feel that you're doing this alone. And we as a community, we also don't want you to feel that. So, use your resources correctly. Reach out to us. People, especially our guests that come on here, they'll answer your guys' questions. All right. So, gentlemen, awesome advice. Thank you so much for that. Guys, let's get your questions answered. We have a few more minutes here. So rapid fire time. Put your questions in the comment section. Whatever you need cleared up or whatever's on your mind, put it in the comment section. Let me know. All right. Facebook user says, what locations you guys typically looking to invest in? You guys want to give me a few of the neighborhoods real quick? We'll start off with Roy.
Yeah. Bergen County, Bergenfield, New Milford, Emerson, Washington Township, Union County. We do Hillside, Union, Bloomfield, Belleville, Clifton, just to name a few. But anywhere, outside the cities and anywhere from like outside the cities of Newark, East Orange, on the outskirts of those, we're active.
Someday soon, Roy. I think I'm going to see you in Newark someday soon.
Yeah, probably.
Joy, you want to name a few neighborhoods that you purchase in?
Yeah, so I also invest in like Belleville, Nutley, Maplewood, West Orange, like Parsippany, what else? Jersey City, of course, Rockaway, Dover, things like that.
Someone says, can I hire Joy to negotiate my leads? Joy,
no, I'm a terrible negotiator. What are you talking about? You're gonna end up paying more.
All right. Someone asked, I have $150,000 in the bank. Should I buy another multifamily, invest in flips? I currently own a 4-family in Heights and did a cash out refi. So let's say it was you. Let's say you had 150,000. Let's say you had a 4-family. What would you guys do with that capital to grow it? We'll start off with Joey.
I would invest it with Joey Chan. I'm kidding. No, it really depends on your investing strategy. So if you're more of a buy and hold guy, I would try to find another four family, use that as a down payment, go from there. If you want to get into the fix and flip business, since you already have an experience, owning a property, I would use some of that money and maybe do two fix and flips with the money. It depends how you want to go. It's really your tolerance, your risk tolerance, and what you're looking to do.
Very true. Roy, anything to add to this?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a loaded question because it all depends on your personal preference. I don't know if this person, has another like 9-to-5 job that they're doing. Are they full-time real estate investing? For me, we do a mix of both. So if we have capital on hand, a lot of times, most of the time we'll buy rentals with our own capital and we'll raise money just like the ways that we described, 100% financing. And do fix and flips. So a lot of times we'll use our own money to do rentals, and then we'll raise money to do the flips. So yeah, but again, it's personal preference. It's what your goals are. It's what your strategy is. Everybody's different, and everybody's going to give you a different answer for that question, I feel like.
Very true. All right, Alexander asked, either one of you guys have experience with the HELOC, or have you helped someone, get creative with HELOC loans? Because I know he has a property in like Manhattan that it's like worth like 600. He bought it. He's like all in around like 470 or something like that. But he's got some money in a condo. But either one of you guys want to speak on, HELOC, is it a good thing to use? Would you use it?
I mean, I would. I mean, if you're getting a good rating, you can cover the flip, and what.
By the way, Roy, I think his expenses are like $2,150, and it's renting out for $2,300.
Say that again, Eli.
His expenses are like $2,150, and he's renting it out for like $2,300 in Manhattan.
Ouch.
Oh, wait, for this question you're talking about?
Yeah. I know this guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, look, for a flip or something like that, I would do it if you're getting enough returns where it's covering everything. I don't know if there's enough of a spread for an expense that's $2,100 and your rental is $2,300. I don't know if there's just quite enough spread for that to use that money for that purpose. But if you're using it for a flip, or if you're using it for a rental property where it's paying off all the expenses and adding cash flow, why not? I mean, it's a good strategy.
Yeah.
Knowing that those numbers are tight, would you recommend selling it, keeping it with where we're at in the market right now? What would you do if it was you?
Oh man, in Manhattan?
Yeah.
I don't really know what that market is like, to be honest with you, to give an intelligent enough answer right now. So I really don't know.
Appreciate it. Joey, anything to add to that?
It's very difficult to. Am I answering the new question?
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. It's in Brooklyn. My bad.
Oh, so same thing. I'm not very familiar with New York market.
Yep, so. Not a problem. All right, let's go to the next question. Have you guys found it more challenging to find homes in today's current markets?
I would definitely say so. It's a lot tougher right now because the homeowners you're also competing with, even on some of the off-market stuff, homeowners are also competing with you. So it's very difficult right now.
Roy, anything to add to this?
Yeah, I mean, in a hot market where everything is selling, you're great on the sell side, but to find the properties, you're also overpaying. So yeah, 100%. It's really, really difficult to find good deals right now. Needle in the haystack.
Very true. So Amy asked, being experienced flippers, so both of you, it must be easy for you to transition into building, right, in the construction space. Have you guys ever considered developing or, building homes, or maybe building a whole block or anything like that? Any visions of that stuff? Because both of you guys kind of build homes. I mean, you've done it from ground up. But like, I think she's asking, have you considered doing something bigger?
I would consider if the opportunity is there. I mean, yeah, if the deals make sense, if the funding is there, if we can raise enough funding to do that. We haven't done. I mean, we kind of tend to stick away from ground up, because it takes longer. It just doesn't fit our model. But if financing is there and the opportunity is there, we would definitely consider it. Absolutely.
Yeah, for me it's the same thing. I do less of the bigger project now. I like to do more of the cosmetic type of projects. Where we can kind of get in and out quicker. Just keep that money rolling. Yeah.
Love it. All right. Someone asked, do you guys do any unpaid internships?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. That's what I was talking about earlier. We're gonna be opening up our own office in Garfield, New Jersey, and and basically we're probably gonna get a few interns in, and help them find deals and things like that.
Yeah, help them get started. That's awesome, man. Roy, what about you? Doing any internships?
At the current moment, no, but
If you bring Roy a deal,
free labor, right?
I'm sure if you bring Roy a deal, he'll gladly teach you what he can on that transaction.
There you go. 1,000%.
There we go. All right. She wants to get you guys contact. We're gonna get the contacts here in a second. All right. How can I follow you guys? You guys show so much value. Just show me what to do, Joey. That's awesome. We're gonna get out their contacts here in 1 second. Let me see. Any final questions here? If you got final questions, put them in now. We will save this one here. All right. So, what are the ROIs, or what do you guys typically like to make on a flip? What would you guys consider a good flip on average? Joey?
It really depends on the type of project, and how much time I'm putting in. So I never have more or less like a set amount or percentage, so for me, I kind of judge it by the actual dollar amount, right? So if it's a quick, I don't know, if it's a quick like flip, generally I like to make at least like $30,000 to $40,000. That's a quick flip. But if it's a flip that's a little larger or longer, I would say probably like $60,000 to $70,000, something like that.
And is this net? Are these net numbers or these gross?
Net numbers, yeah.
Very important. All right, thank you, Joey. Roy, what about you? What's a typical good ROI or typical profit margin that you like to hit on an average project?
So minimum we're looking at 50,000 net profit on deals. If it's anything under that, we don't really go for it. And on larger deals, between 70 to 100, if we're using $100,000 of hard money to get into the deal, we're looking to make about 60 to 80% return on that money. So on $100,000, if we're using that for hard money, we're looking to make about 60 to 80,000 after everybody is paid off, after all the lenders are paid off, private investors are paid off, after all the closing costs, expenses, everything. That's what we're looking to net.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, guys. So you guys have literally provided so much value. I got pages and pages of notes here. It's such an honor. There's a lot of people who, want to know how to get in touch with you guys, follow your guys' journey, and just, keep in touch and maybe build a relationship on a deeper level. So what's going to be the best way for people to reach out to you guys? We'll start off with Roy.
Yeah, I'm active, like Eli said, on Facebook and Instagram. You can just find me by my full name. It's posted right there, Roy, Temiz. And I'll leave my email also. It's my first name, Roy, at our company name, rodanihomes.com, RODANI homes.com.
If you got any deals, send them to Roy.
That's right.
All right, Joey, how can people stay in tune with your journey, man?
Yeah, I'm more active on Facebook than anybody else.
That is true. That is 1,000% true.
Just, type in my name, Joey Chan. I'm also on Instagram, but not as active. NJ House, the numeric 4 cash. NJ House 4 cash. That's my Instagram name. And we also have I'm going to plug myself. We have a weekly podcast, Newbie Real Estate Investor podcast with my one of my business partners, Jonathan Boyle. And Roy was one of our earliest guests on there, and hopefully we can get Roy back, and we got to get Elijah on there too, another killer.
Very soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is another event brought to you by New Jersey Real Estate Investor Association. My name is Elijah. It was an honor for me to be here with you guys. Once again, we got the expo tickets, we got the workshop, the 8-hour workshop over fix and flip, and we have our membership. It's literally only going to be up for maybe a day, maybe 2 days, where you can get the whole value. It's like a $500 value for only $97. All you got to do is go down to the link below, prime-superinvestors.com. Use the coupon code September Special, and we're going to hook you up with the sickest discount you've ever seen in your life. Have access to our whole community for an entire year. It's going to be a lot of fun. Roy, Joey, it's been such an honor, and I'm so grateful to have you guys on here with us. On behalf of the community, we want to say thank you, and we hope you all have a great night.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me, buddy.
Yes, sir. All right, we'll see you guys soon, all right? Put in the comment section, let me know if this was awesome or what. Show some love to end this off. Let's see. All right, I got to end the broadcast. It's past my bedtime. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Take care.